Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 5 in the KJV for April 5th, 2023. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, and sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors in the house of a stranger, and thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, How I have hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and I have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation in the assembly. Drink waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers in the streets. Let them be only thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind in the pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times. Be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings. His own iniquity shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. So, I think it was last month I went deep on what it was talking about with the rivers, the fountains of your life. So how to not spread that in the streets, so to say. Like these girls in the streets, don't spread your fountain in the streets yourself, which is good advice and a great take. And it tells you, like, because you'll just essentially come into ruin, chasing these girls. So don't do it. But in particular, where is it? For the ways of a man are before the eyes of the Lord, or ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings. Like I tell my kids, you can't hide. You can't hide from the Lord. So he sees everything you do, and not only does he see what you do, he knows what you're thinking and what your intent is and what's in your heart. So even if you imagine like a Truman Show and somebody's watching you at all times, and you can like do the right thing, or like shoplifting, you'll kind of do a distraction, distract the camera and make it look like I know a lot of people doing the self-checkout now, like, look, I'm doing self-checkout, but they're slipping stuff in or checking the wrong thing out, whatever. Point is, it looks right. We know it's wrong, and the Lord sees it, so he weighs our hearts. Not a whole lot to say. Beautiful rainy spring day. Got the kids going to work. Couldn't resist. And yeah, I guess that's it. Stay out of the streets and stay away from the ladies in the streets. You won't have this problem. Go with God. Be blessed.